My name is Jim Benjamin. I'm an accounting professor in the Maze Business School. I've joined the faculty in 1974. I've had the privilege to work with all the deans of the business school, and I'm delighted to be here today with our two longest serving deans, who actually served almost 60% of the 50-year history of the Maze Business School. If I could, to start off, ask each of you to tell us about your thoughts about being a dean and specifically at Texas A&M.
I'll go first. It was really an easy decision for me. I had been dean of a business school at the University of Houston and then provost at the University of Houston. But it was really, I thought, an attractive option to come to A&M. First of all, it's flagship university, which I think means a lot in terms of the quality of the education that's available and the opportunities for the students. And also it was an exciting period of growth and transition, and the business school presented those same kinds of, I thought, opportunities.
Well, in the parallel universe that Benton and I find ourselves, I was also dean at the University of Houston when I had an opportunity to come here. Most people assumed I came here because I got my degrees here and this was coming back home, coming back to the alma mater. The reason I came here is real simple. Benton took this school in the years that he was dean, made it from a kind of regional business school to a nationally recognized and prominent business school. And it was just a wonderful platform to operate off of. Once I came back here, I really realized what a special place Texas A&M is, and it's a very different kind of university. You know, they say that there's lots and lots of very, very good elite universities, but there are very, very few special places, and I think Texas A&M is one of those places.
The gift from Lowry Maze for the naming of the business school.
Right.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
You know, that was a situation of a great fit. I mean, a fine family with incredible success in the business world. And he got interested and increasingly excited about some of the things we were trying to do. And so we made a proposal, and his real question was, would it make a difference? And with that difference, can you really make strides, additional strides toward excellence? And we assured him that it would make a tremendous difference, and it has made a tremendous difference.
The median tenure of a business school dean is about 5 years nationally. Why do you think you stayed 14 years?
You know, we can never underestimate the satisfaction that comes with working with the quality of students that A&M is able to attract and the business school is able to attract. And, you know, as long as that challenge is there and you're excited about what you're doing, and certainly when you're in a place like A&M, there are a lot of opportunities in the academic world. But I never saw anything that looked to me like a better opportunity than right where I was.
So Jerry, what other things do you think about during your 14 years that you feel like made a difference?
One of the things we did, and Jim, you were involved with this program really since its inception. We had an honors program, undergraduate honors program for a long period of time, but we really didn't have a major. So probably about 5 years into my deanship, one of the things that was a little frustrating to me is that we would lose some of our best students to other programs that we were trying to recruit at the undergrad level. A business school is always remembered by its best handful of graduates, not the average graduate that you have. And we were just not able to get those top graduates because they'd look at A&M, they'd see this huge university, and they'd say, I just don't want to get lost there, I'll go to X, Y, or Z. So we put together an honors major. This honors major, we used it as a platform to recruit, and I think it's been very successful. I think the other thing that I think about a little bit is in terms of things that happened during my time, the director of our entrepreneurship center came to me and wanted to do a program to recognize A&M-owned businesses. He said there's tons of Aggies out there. Aggies are successful in the corporate world, they're successful in the military, they're successful in the clergy, but they're successful entrepreneurs too. And we don't have a program that recognizes that. So he came to me with this idea for the Aggie 100. So I said, why don't we call it the Aggie 50 and just start it slow, we can build it. He said, I've already designed the logo, it's got to be an Aggie 100. So we went with the Aggie 100. We probably got 120 applications the first year, so it wasn't real hard to get on that first list. But that thing has grown and blossomed now, and it's a very significant event on our campus. So I'd say those are the two other things that stick out to me during my time.
Knowing what you know now after being dean, what advice would you give to yourself when you started being dean here?
I think the biggest advice I would give is don't underestimate the power of just listening, meeting with people, talking to people. You get in such a rush when you come in to want to go do something. And you know, the business school dean, one of the biggest part of the job is fundraising. If I could change something I did would be spending a little more time on the upfront, just getting to meet faculty, know them, get their thoughts, get their ideas, learn a little bit about what they do. I spent really most of the first summer out on the road meeting donors. I think that's important, but I think it would have been probably better for me to meet some of the inside folks before I met some of the outside folks.
Well, I had the advantage of having been a dean for a number of years before coming, and I'd learned a lot of lessons in that process.
So you did have advice for yourself when you came?
I certainly did, and you know, one of the things was to, you know, communicate as thoroughly as you can. You know, to try to get everybody going together. And, you know, advice I would give to any new dean would be, you know, trust the people. You can't do it all. In fact, you may not can do very much if you don't get people on board with you with shared vision of where you want to go and to get it done. And that would be, I think, the most important thing that I would share with the new dean.
What advice would you give to current or recent graduates?
Well, we're starting with what I think is a superior product. A&M as a university seems to attract students with exceptional work ethics and that are very focused on you know, on what they want to accomplish while they're here and after they're here. Any advice that I would give is continue to learn and, you know, never walk into a situation thinking you know everything, but to be open for new experiences and new learning opportunities. But I think we're remarkably well positioned in terms of the students that we're putting out to do very well.
And I think the one thing, and Jim, I think you've done a great job at this with the accounting students. You know, in the old days, the students who took a flyer would go to the Dallas office of the firms instead of the Houston office. Now our accounting students are going to London, they're going to New York, they're going to DC, they're going to LA. I mean, they're going all over the country, all over the world. And what I tell them is, what I would tell students is once you start having a family and children, those sorts of things aren't as easy to do. The time to take that chance, the time to do that thing is when you're freshly graduated. And just the value to you in terms of your professional development, your personal development of living somewhere else is huge. The impact on your resume is significant.
What do you think will be going on at the 100th anniversary of Maze?
I mean, one of the things that I think will be just a huge opportunity, you know, in the next, 10 years or so, is this whole notion of lifelong education, but education without the degree, sort of a thing, continuing education, whatever you want to call it. People are going to need skills their whole life, and at some point in time, don't know when this is going to be, right now degrees are the barrier to entry to certain sorts of jobs. I think that's going to go away. And I think what's going to happen is that's going to leave schools that are smart, entrepreneurial, and have the right kind of people, have the right kind of faculty. I think it's going to be even more so in 50 years from now.
Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.